In 1997, one of the greatest gaming series was originally created, GTA. The series would evolve from top-down madness to 3D world with GTA 3 in 2001, making headlines good and bad. And in 2002, Rockstar gave us arguably the best game in the series, Vice City, turning our PS2s and eventually Xboxes into time machines, taking us back to 1980s Miami. The funny thing is a lot of us were quite young, and we knew nothing of the 80s. But one thing was for sure, Rockstar was going to ensure that we experienced it firsthand for ourselves. Let's take a look back in time and see why Vice City was so impressive. Vice City put us in the shoes of Tommy Vercetti, and honestly, it couldn't have been anyone better. The temperamental, funny, and lovable Tommy won over everyone who ever played the game. Just coming fresh out of prison, Tommy needs to make a name for himself, and doesn't miss the opportunity to make his dreams a reality, with a lot of violence and witty remarks.
You some kind of tough guy? You dress like a woman? You got on panties like a woman too, huh?
What do you got against women? You prefer men, big boy?
There was something very relatable about this. Not the countless killings, but wanting to make your desires come true. Tommy was GTA's first fully voiced character, and Rockstar picked the perfect man, Ray Liotta, from Goodfellas. Ray brought Tommy to life in a way I don't even think Rockstar was expecting. But the main character is only as good as his fellow cast, and Vice City gave us one of the best ensemble of characters a game has to offer. There is the ever-worrisome cocaine-addicted lawyer Ken Rosenberg.
All night, with the lights off, drinking coffee. This is a disaster. We are so screwed, man. These gorillas, listen to me, are gonna come down here and rip my head off. It's ridiculous.
Big bad Sonny Forelli, who constantly reminds you of your duties to him.
Better be kidding me, Tommy. Tell me you still got the money.
No, Sonny. I don't have the money.
That was my money, Tommy! My money!
The lovable but insanely shady voodoo lady Auntie Paulette. And getting even more wild, there is the metal band Love Fist, and the crazy American gun dealer Phil Cassidy, voiced by none other than Gary Busey. And that's just the top of the iceberg. But these characters need a world that would fit their wild personalities, and Rockstar created the perfect setting, Vice City. Vice City was a huge upgrade over GTA 3's Liberty City. Vice City feels more like a living, breathing city than was seen before. While the map can be considered quite small, this actually works in favor for the game. Vice City never feels like there are stretches of nothingness. You will always see people walking the coastal streets, enjoying the sun. The most enjoyable thing to do, which felt amazing, especially in Vice City, was to grab a car and just drive. See, at this time in 2002, players were never able really to do something like this in a 3D game, bar GTA 3. But the ambience of Vice City with the scenic cruise down the coastal roads or the vibrant neon nightlife is something that would define a generation. If you have played Vice City, you cannot tell me just driving around isn't imprinted on your brain forever. And I swear it has some sort of healing power because for a little while it felt like you left the real world and you were actually cruising the roads of Vice City, taking in all the sunshine. Talking about cruising and just losing yourself in the world, there is one thing that Rockstar added to Vice City that made it so impressive. That iconic soundtrack. No longer was the music copyright free, but music from real artists. And not just any artist, the artist of the 80s. This created an entire player base that mostly never heard any of the music, unless it was from their parents' cassettes, into diehard 80s music enthusiasts. It doesn't matter what genre you enjoyed either. There were so many great radio stations that had you covered, from anything between rock and R&B. Enjoy rap, Mr. Magic on Wild Style had you covered with some Run DMC, Trouble Funk, and Houdini. More of a pop person, Tony on Flash FM would give you Michael Jackson, Bryan Adams, and Hall & Oates. Also, Emotion 98.3 with Fernando was always a great nighttime cruise station. I myself was a Wave 103 kind of guy. I couldn't resist the flock of seagulls and the sunglasses at night song. Rockstar did a great job with the stations having a life of their own. The DJs and the commercials are hilarious and really set the mood you were looking for. But the question was, why was GTA Vice City so impressive? And that answer is all of the above, and how Rockstar seamlessly made all these systems work together. All games have great elements in them, but Rockstar weaved everything together so perfectly with Vice City. The improved gameplay created a more fun and streamlined experience for the players. The story and all involved characters only work in a 1980s setting. The world would have felt unbelievable if it was any other setting. The improved open world and graphics made everything feel real. Playing and driving through Vice City feels authentic and alive. Top that with one of the greatest music playlists of all time in any game, and it's an unforgettable experience for everyone that plays it. Rockstar nailed every portion of the game for the time it was created in. And that's what makes it even more impressive. Vice City came out in 2002. At this point, that's almost 20 years ago. The game is still played today by thousands of people every day, some replaying it for the 1000th time, and others experiencing Tommy's story for the very first time. Vice City stands the test of time, that's how you know the game is that good. To make matters even better, Rockstar recently announced the remaster of Vice City, along with GTA 3 and San Andreas. Players have been asking for a remaster for a very long time. It's going to make an incredible game even better, with its updated graphics and quality of life fixes. GTA Vice City is a classic masterpiece that changed a generation of gamers forever. We got to live in a time period way before our own, and experience a rags to riches story like none other. We met outrageous people and helped them any way we could. We made friends and we made enemies. We had the freedom to almost do whatever we wanted in a video game for the very first time. And we all know that was mostly just driving around listening to the banger soundtracks of the 1980s. GTA Vice City had everything gamers wanted at the time and more. It is a game that will continue to be talked about in gaming history forever. And this is why GTA Vice City was so impressive. If you enjoyed this video, a like on the channel helps out a ton. And if you want more content like this, sub to the channel and watch this video here. Peace.